I thought I'd do a quick podcast about gratitude, because I found myself lately thinking, why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't that come through? Why hasn't that film come through? Why didn't that money come through? And or why is this so difficult? Why is this process so difficult? Or why is somebody being so ungrateful? Someone's written to me and they're upset by something I've done or something I've said or something basic that I'm not doing for them or not doing for them cheaply enough. And it made me think about the fact that when we fall into ingratitude, it's because we're just not looking around us at what we've got. We're just not being grateful. We get so caught up in what's not happening, we don't see what is happening. We get so caught up in what we're not getting that we don't see what we are getting. We get so caught up in what we haven't got that we don't see what we have got. And I'm not talking about a Pollyanna type of mentality where, you know, where we're in denial and everything seems rosy when it really isn't. I'm talking about pragmatics. If you've got breath in your lungs, you know, if you can flush a toilet, you're ahead of the majority of the world. You know, if you haven't got illness, if you're still alive, if you've still got breath. I go out running every day, and every day I'm running, I'm just thinking, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I can go out and run. I've got friends who can't go out and run at the moment because they're ill. I've got friends that just haven't got the strength to go out running, and I know they would look at me with the greatest envy just because I can go out and run. And I don't want to get into a place of illness or lack before I appreciate what I had. So every day I try to practice gratitude. I've tried to practice gratitude for what I've got, because it's so easy to get so caught up in what we haven't got that it becomes our whole world. We get so caught up in what's lacking that becomes our whole reality, and we're not looking at the abundance around us. So we're concentrating all of our attention on one tiny little thing that isn't going right, not realizing how many things are going right, not realizing how many things are amazing. I remember when my daughter Lisa was in America, she went over to work in America for a while. My daughter's really brave, and she went over to live in America. She'd split up with a boyfriend. She said a great thing. They were really close. They were kind of childhood lovers, and they were very, very close, but they split apart a little bit. And eventually he wasn't really behaving very well, so she said, I'm going to leave you. And he said, you can't leave me because you need me. And she says, I don't need you. She says, I do love you, but I don't need you. That's kind of peripheral to this to this podcast, but I like that she loved him, but she didn't need him. They're two different things. Anyway, they split up. She went and worked in America for a year. But when she was in America, she landed there right in the middle of 9/11. She was homesick. She wanted to be back with her family. She was away for about a year, I think, or 2 years. And then she went to Australia after that. And very, very interestingly, when she was away, our relationship became closer and closer. Although we weren't, you know, we were very close anyway, but as when she went away and she was thousands of miles away, our relationship got closer and closer. We really, really bonded, because when we spoke, there was no pretense, there was no ego, there was no superficial badinage. You know, we weren't just talking about nonsense. We were going directly to what was important. What was important was that I loved her, and that she loved me, and that she was in America and she was lonely and she was struggling. And then 9/11 went off, and it was a very stressful time for her. Interestingly, this is another aside. When she was at her most vulnerable, I told her to pray, and I said, ask for guidance. And she said Nelson Mandela appeared to her in a vision. And she said he was more real than we are. He was more real. It was kind of more dimensional. And she said he held her hand and looked at her, and she said, what do I do? I'm afraid. And he said, you just got to do what I did, Lisa, and live a very brave life. And I thought it was beautiful that he appeared to her, even though he wasn't dead at the time. He was alive, but he appeared to her. Anyway, so the town she was staying in America, they'd got a mountain. At the top of this mountain was a holy shrine. And she said, what I'm going to do, Dad, I'm going to go up to the top of the mountain. It wasn't a huge mountain. It was just like a small thing, a small mountain. So I'm going to climb to the top, and I'm going to go up and there's a shrine there, and everyone on the shrine leaves notes, you know, what they're praying about, what they're worried about. So I'm going to go up and ask for guidance and ask for help. So she climbed up this mountain with all these ideas. I'm going to ask God for this, I'm going to ask God for that, I'm going to ask him for the other. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. When she got to the top of the shrine, she said there was a board, and she said there was thousands of notes, well, hundreds of notes plastered all over it, all notes written by people that had climbed the mountain to the same shrine. And she said, I started to read them. She said it made me cry, because every single one of them was saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Every one of them was a note of gratitude, not a note of asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for money, asking for success, asking for good looks. There wasn't a single one. She said every single one of them was a note of gratitude. Thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for my health, thank you for this, you know, thank you for my ill health, because I'm learning a lot about myself. Thank you for my marriage breakdown. I'm really troubled, but thank you, because it's helped me to find myself. The crisis has created an opening, and I've found myself through it. And I found it really moving that she said, I've been so busy thinking about what I haven't got, that I forgot what I have got. And she forgot that she got a great family. She forgot that she was in America, and that she'd spent a year there, and that she was getting great experiences. And she just said it made her want to be more grateful for everything. But I think that's something we've got to practice. It isn't just a matter of going, oh yeah, count your blessings. It's something you get up every day and say, thanks today for this. I've got another day. Thanks for the fact that I can go out and run today. Thanks for the fact that I've got free will. I can choose to go left or right, or go straight ahead. I can choose to stay in bed or get up. I can choose to go to work or not go to work. I can choose to have a mortgage or not have a mortgage. I can choose to be with a family or not with a family. I can choose to be healthy, I can choose to be unhealthy. I've got free will. I've had a few people that I've worked with who have come to me and with lots of self-pity, and talking about what they haven't got, and what no one's given them, and how this person's let them down, and how that person's let them down. And I said, yeah, but what have you got? What have you been given? I mean, these are people I know, and I'm going, I know you, I know your lineage, and I know how fucking blessed you've been, how much you've been given. I know how much you've been given. I know how much help you've got. I know that sometimes people are just spoiled. And I think sometimes when I'm talking to God, he's saying that to me, fucking hell, you're spoiled. You've got so much. You keep asking for more. And instead of going and asking all the time, can I have more, can I have more? You just got to go and say thank you. When I'm running, when I'm walking, my footsteps in my head, my sub-vocalization is thank you, thank you, thank you. I get into the habit, it starts with language. We get into the habit of starting with language, saying thank you. Thank you to people. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for how you've helped me. You know, not, oh, you know, you're an elitist, look at what you're doing, look at what you charge, but thank you for all of the amazing stuff you've given me. You know, I had somebody saying to me once, I charged too much and I was elitist. And I said 95% of what my stuff is free online. And it's free online because what I charge enables me to put it free online. Have a look at what you're getting, not at what you've not got. Stop thinking so small. Look at what you've got, not look at what you haven't got. There's an old saying from Gurdjieff. He said the first time you give somebody something, they'll drop at your feet and they bow to you. The second time you give them something, they shake your hand and say thank you very much. The third time you give them something, they take it and examine it and just doff their hat at you. The fourth time you give them something, they don't say anything. The fifth time you give them something, they call you greedy and ask you why you haven't given them more and tell you to fuck off. And it's very true. We all do that. We all of us do that. I include myself in that. I'm teaching this stuff now, but I'm a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite. I've no doubt about that. I am. I'm not. It's not deliberate. Believe me. I don't deliberately be a hypocrite, but I fall into hypocrisy every single day. When I'm thinking, why hasn't this happened? Why is this guy playing up? Why is that going off over there? And then I just think, shut up and look at what you've got. Look at what you've been given. Be grateful for what have you got. Look at what you've got. I've seen so many people who have lost what they've got, and then they've gone, fucking hell, look at what I have. And I've gone, yeah, but when you had it, you didn't want it, and you hated it, and you attacked it. You weren't grateful for it. Gratitude opens the door and it closes the door. opens the gate, he closes the gate. Gratitude is the gate in. And it's also, you can block yourself if you haven't got gratitude. I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. So be grateful for everything. Man, we've got so much. We're so blessed.